left my phone in my Jeep. Oh, well, I didn't have anything on it anyway.
That's all right.
All
You
right.
always ding anyway.
Okay. I
True.
like starting the podcast before we start the podcast so everyone can just hear us doing this.
That's fine.
Ooh,
Right?
nice.
I want to see you fade that out. It's all nice and professional looking right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4. We're cruising right along here of It's All Fish and Chips, the podcast. My name is Thor, here at the helm, captain in this ship. I am the captain of a very tall ship. And the first mate of this ship, sitting right here to my left, Mr. Bubby.
Hi, good evening.
Bubby's a master seaman. And
Sure, you can call it that.
yeah. And we'll be co-captaining along with our, podcast member number 3 has decided not to join us because he is a disappointment.
Boo.
So this will be a Tyler-free episode. But don't worry, because bringing up the rear there, both the ship's navigator and cook, we have Amanda.
I'll do my best not to set this ship on fire.
Well, that's, I think, number one rule when out there on a ship is to not set the boat on fire. So, just coming off the 4th of July week here. Everybody have a good 4th of July. Get out there and,
I'm exhausted.
oh, Bubby's wore out. All right, Bubby, let's hear it. Why you all wore out from the 4th?
Well, I am a licensed pyrotechnician, and I had a shoot last night at Big Cedar Lodge down in Branson.
Oh, how did it go?
Well, went very well.
Lots of boom boom.
Lots
Yeah.
of boom boom, no explodey splody,
No,
no cry Bernie screamy.
no fires, and no one got hurt. So
Good job.
There's a TikTok I saw last night where this girl's out there and she's got her little sparkler and she's kind of whipping it around. And then across the back behind her is just another kid. He's got a sparkler above his head and he's just bolting across the field. He yells, "Somebody has given me fire!" Brrr, there he goes. So that's what I think of when I think of the 4th of July is little kids running around with fire. We shot off all right, this is not on my notes, but here's my story. So yesterday we're like, all right, we're going to go get some fireworks. Got to get the fireworks. Going to shoot them off for the nieces and the nephews. Finn the dog's here joining us for the podcast. Going to knock a bunch of stuff off the table here any second. So that'll
he
be
growled
fun.
at me when I came in.
Yeah, he does. He's not a pleasant animal. So we go to the fireworks stand, and I get the little basket, and I start putting things in. Here's a $5 one. That's good. $10 one. And then Jordan's coming right in behind me. Blum, 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 blum. Here, take this one. We need this one. Burp, we need this one. Burp, we need this one. I get to that register $130 later.
Wow.
Fireworks. We bought one of them big old, So she's like, which one of these is the best? They're just trying to move products. They're like, oh, this one is definitely the best. Because we have the most of them.
And that's the biggest.
No, the biggest. No, we gave them a price. They were like in this.
Oh, okay.
Because it goes so you can go like $500. We got a cake because I got shells last year, and the shells are kind of pain because you're like put it in, psh, boom, and now you got to walk back over, put the next one in, shoot it up, psh, boom. So it takes forever, and the kids. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what the kids had to say this time around. So we were like, all right, I'm gonna get a cake this time, right? So it shoots itself. You just light it off. We're good to go. So we start at the one end. We start at the expensive end. It is like $500 for this cake, $450 for this one. Another $399 for this one. They're expensive. So we're going down there, and we hit like the $50 range. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the grand finale. You can select from, but it goes like big cake, and they get way smaller when you get to the $50 range. So I'm like, you pick any one of these. So then she asked the guy which one was the best. And I'm sure he's like, this one, because we have the most of them, and they need to go. So we ordered that one. Great. We get out there. So we start shooting off fireworks, starting with the little ones, pew, 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 nothing. As it gets darker, we start getting the bigger and bigger ones. The nephew, he's like, I don't know, 5. He goes, so we're out in Ozark, right? And out at her folks' place. And this field, it's flat land. It's all like rich people houses out there. And there are probably 15 different groups of people shooting off big old fireworks, like big stuff, you know. And that little kid from the porch goes, "Your fireworks aren't as good as the ones out there." To which I replied, "Boy, if you get a job, you can buy your own fireworks because this is the best you're getting from me for free. I'll charge you rent. I'll charge you an entry fee next time." But we did have one that went ahead and just shot right out the side of the. Is one of those, you know, the round ones that do reports up into the air, and it just blew out the side of that firework and just started shooting them at the porch, and everyone started screaming and running.
Yikes.
And they're like, "Thor, be more careful." I'm like, "I am not in charge
No.
of the factory in Wuhan that is making these fireworks. I am not in charge of quality control at that factory.
Right.
I put the lighter to the fuse and then I run. It's the best I can do for you people. Am I too loud?
I'm finding the happy medium. I feel like you're yelling at me.
Okay. I'm just angry at you. Get your microphone together." But everyone had a lovely time. The dogs were there. They stayed inside, but every once in a while they poke their little heads out and they go, "Oh, you're still doing this?" and go back inside. But all in all, I came away with as many fingers as I started with, so being down a quarter ain't too bad.
Good job.
Yep.
So that's my fireworks story anyway. Nothing too interesting to report, but good time had by all. Spent too much money on fireworks. That's the moral of my story.
And now I'm more exhausted. Thanks.
You're doing the big stuff though. You were shooting off.
Yeah, I
Was-
shot probably between $18,000 to $24,000 worth of fireworks.
Oh, see, that's way better than my $120 worth of fireworks.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay for none of that, so
Nope, I got paid.
there you go. Getting paid, getting rich. Amanda, fireworks?
I did nothing. I went to bed. Yay,
God-
freedom.
God bless America. I'm going to bed. It was a war zone out here last night.
Yeah, how could anyone sleep?
Yeah, it was. There was probably, I don't know. When we got home, it was just nothing but just like big shells going off. All you could hear it all through town. So, but this house was built in 1920s, so it's got nice thick walls, and I went right to bed when I came home. All right. So, anybody got anything they'd like to talk about this week? Anything exciting?
I have some road anger to talk about.
All right. I would love to hear about road anger.
Okay, first of all, the geese on the highway are adult geese now.
Oh, okay. For those of you just joining us, if you turn back to our last podcast, I believe,
Maybe the last
Second.
two.
Yeah, second one.
podcast number 2, you'll hear the story of how Amanda had to pull over to the side of the road to guard the geese from the traffic.
I yelled at them.
Yes. All right.
So I was driving to work the other morning, and 3 geese in the middle of the highway.
Are these the juveniles grown up, or these?
I think they're the juveniles grown up.
Okay, so they're dumb. They don't know nothing.
No. So there was 3-car pileup. I mean, not actual pileup, but they were all stopped.
Right.
And so I was the last one and pulled over the shoulder and chased the geese off the road.
So here's Amanda out in the middle of the road. Like all the other cars are stopped just waiting on the geese. Not Amanda.
I could see that.
She's going to pull over, get out of her car, and then run into traffic.
I didn't run into traffic. I just yelled at them from the shoulder.
Oh, you didn't actually go into the road to shoot them?
No,
You were
no.
did they listen to you when you shoot them?
Yes, they
Okay.
yelled at me, but another geese story.
You got a lot of
I got a lot of geese going
run-ins
on.
with geese here recently.
I was driving down a mostly residential road, but fairly busy in town, and headed toward me was, what do you call a group of geese? A gaggle?
Gaggle.
A gaggle of geese, that is correct.
A gaggle of like 8 to 10 geese. It was hard to tell because they were in formation.
The sand people travel in single file to hide their numbers.
Were they in a triangle walking?
They were in a wad of geese.
A wad, a gaggly wad
Not
of
a
geese.
gaggle. A gaggle one.
A gaggle wad. That's
They
what
were
called.
white and gray. And,
Racist.
well, they weren't Canadian. They weren't wearing the tuxedo.
They're not Canadian.
Foreign.
Fern. They're not them fern geese.
And they're probably equal distance from 2 fairly large bodies of water. And probably like at least half a mile from each,
Okay.
walking down the road, coming at me. And I had to come to a stop and wait for them to go around me. And so, because I'm me, I rolled down the window and asked them where they were going and why they had to take the road.
So,
And they just kind of like all like stretched their necks and looked at me, and I was like, keep going.
Amanda picking fights with geese wherever she goes.
Do you honk your horn?
No.
Why not honk the horn? Because they'll honk
Me-
back. They have honkers too, you
I,
know.
don't, I prefer to let them know why I'm angry.
You want to vocalize. You don't want just the general beep beep of the car. You want them to be specifically told exactly what you're mad about.
Yeah. And on the way to the podcast today,
Don't tell me there's more geese.
there's not more geese.
Okay. I was like, if there is more geese, there might be a problem that is specific to you.
I was reminded of another thing that makes me angry when I'm driving. There was a kid that was getting ready to cross like a very busy street,
Okay.
and he was waiting patiently at the light, and he looked behind him for all the cars that were turning right,
Okay.
looking at their indicating light that lets him know, hey,
Mhm.
I'm going to turn. And he waited for the 3 cars that had their lights on, and then he was going to book it across the road, nearly got hit because Jackass didn't have his blinker on.
Oh, okay.
Made
So-
me so mad.
so he
Turn
re-
your blinker on. It's
so-
not that hard.
Welcome to Springfield.
It lets people know where you're going.
Right?
That's half the people in Springfield don't signal.
But that's my road anger.
All right, Amanda. The end. Your goose story reminds me of a story. A friend of the podcast, Jane, had one day. So in Jane's neighborhood, she lives down by a lake and in a little tiny town. And that town at some point decided that they were going to buy some birds to let loose in the area to help control the tick population. Now these birds are called guineas. Okay. Now guinea, name of the bird, also a racial slur for Italian people. So one day Jane, with no backstory at all, comes into work and yells at me. She goes, "You know what I hate? I hate those damn guineas that live on my street. They're always out in the road just making a bunch of noise and blocking up traffic and just causing trouble. I hate them damn guineas." And I was like, "Damn it, Jane. I did not realize you hated Italian people this much." And she goes, "What? No, I don't care about Italians. I hate the damn birds."
I think I remember that
Yeah.
conversation.
I also remember her wanting to hit them all with her car.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to hit all those guineas with my car. And you're like, "Damn it, Jane, they're going to arrest you for that. I'm pretty sure about that. You can't be hitting Italian people with your car." So, that bird story just kind of reminded me of that. I'm going to look at my thing here.
Yesterday I was loading some shells. I hear a honk behind me, so I look at the road up the hill from us, and there's a truck, and there's like 20 geese just walking in front of him and down the road. He's just patiently waiting, going 2 miles an hour.
You gotta get out and yell at them.
What's going
Gotta let them know what they're
going
doing
on
wrong.
here?
And then the geese actually turn, and they're in a line. They come off the road and go down the hill beside where I'm at. So
They're
Now, Bub-
vacationing.
I was going to say, Bubby, are these the fern geese or are these the regular local geese?
I don't know, but when I shot fireworks, they
I
flew
mean,
off pretty quick.
were these tuxedo geese or were they not tuxedo geese? Canadian or non-Canadian geese?
He doesn't know how to.
But,
identify
Bubby, do you
the
know the difference between a Canadian?
I don't
So
know.
the black,
They look like geese.
the black and gray ones. Okay, you got a black head and gray body. That's a Canadian goose. That's Ferner. It doesn't have a passport to get into the United States. It just sneaks in. And then, so we're gonna
probably
we got to protect our borders. We better protect that northern border from them damn geese, because apparently they're a problem. First, Amanda was running into them twice, and now Bubby's being accosted by geese.
Yep.
We're gonna have to talk to somebody about building a wall against Canada. Keep them geese out. We're gonna have to be a tall wall though. Keep them geese out. Because them geese, they can just hop right over it. All right, I'm gonna talk about. Okay. I'm just gonna ask this question because I have this problem. I don't know if anybody else in the universe has this problem, but I'm pretty sure somebody does. Have you ever had an itch like in the palm of your hand that's like below the skin and then like below the muscle, and it's like your bone that itches?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay. I will
Yes,
also
I
get this in my heel sometimes. I'm sure it's some sort of diabetes problem or something that I'm going to die from. But I had the other night, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's right on the palm of my hand, and I want to just take a butcher knife and carve down to where that bone is and scratch it with the tip of that knife. Because I cannot sleep, because all you can think about is this itch, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I think you need to up your gummies, and you'll just go to sleep.
Okay, I'm going to tell this story now.
Okay.
I doubled up for the weekend to try out. So first of all, I did one night without. And good news, if I don't take the gummies, I go right back to where I was before, which is that I will fall asleep almost instantly, go straight to where you have dreams. So no like pre-REM sleep, but straight to REM, stay there for about 2 hours, then pop right back out. So I never get to deep sleep, and I never have the stuff before that, but I have crazy-ass dreams. So if I don't take the gummy, right back there. Okay, so then I said, okay, I'm going to double up. I'm going to take that 10 again and see what happens, because the 5's kind of, I need a 7, but they don't make a 7, and there's no way I can cut the little tiny gummies that I got into a 7, because I can barely cut them in half, because they're not very big. I got to get different kinds this next time, but anyway. So I said, I'm going to do the 10 and see how that goes, because the last time I did the 10, it ruined my whole day. It was about 11 o'clock when I woke up. I'm going to be real honest with you on Saturday. And I don't know what happened between the time I went to bed and then, but I lost a fair good chunk of time there. So I'm still not, Tyler's got the 50s. I am still not up to the 10s yet. I would like to graduate to the 7, but I'm not there yet. So still trying to work out the dosing. That's where I'm having my problems with that. But that's that.
I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, so I always take time to read the vanity license plates that you see.
Okay.
And most of the time, I know what they say. I don't necessarily know what they mean.
But you don't have to decipher. You don't have to try to, wordle what this is.
I mean, I do, but...
Because anagrams.
Okay. There was one that... I know it's shocking, that kind of angered me.
Okay, sure. Amanda's got a lot of rage here recently. She's
There was an electric car
okay.
that had non-CO2 written on it.
Okay, so it's not carbon emitting.
But it's kind of a lie.
Okay, continue.
Because all cars emit carbon. They all have a footprint of some sort.
Well, yeah, no,
They have less, but you can't say non. You can say
it doesn't emit,
less CO2.
It doesn't emit the CO2, but I think all that carbon emission is at the front end when they make the batteries and do all that stuff.
Not necessarily.
Plus the charging.
Right.
Right.
So not non.
Not non. Less.
Liars.
Okay, so this is where you're drawing the line in the sand. Is that if they had said less or like a negative sign, not a negative sign CO2, but one of those, the sideways V where you go one side's bigger and then equal then less two kind of thing. You've been all right with that.
Yeah, I don't think you or even just said trying, or
trying. They only get so many letters. I only think they get 7 letters. So.
But you could do TRING. I would get it, trying. And then there was another one that I don't know.
Okay.
It was XXLDog.
Big dog.
Big dog.
But why?
Because he's the big dog.
Yeah.
Come on, woof woof, big dog. Big dog in the house.
Playa.
He's a big dog, Amanda. Come on.
Okay, whatever.
Amanda, not amused by the cultural references in any way. Big dog in the house. Amanda's like, nope, not in my house. You're not. You will be. Oh, elsewhere. Almost dropped my glasses.
But I don't know.
I used to have a license. I used to have a custom license plate.
Really?
It said Thor 3 on it. You know why I said Thor 3?
Because that was your third car.
Nope, because Thor 1 and Thor 2 were already taken.
Yeah, if you gotta if you can't just put big dog, then clearly you're not the big dog because
you
somebody already got one.
They already got the license plate first. But what if that person isn't the big dog, but they just have a big dog, like they have a Mastiff? But you still want to be the big dog, but you can't be because some old lady in freaking Spokane, Missouri. She's got a Great Dane, and now her license plate says Big Dog, because that's what she got.
Well,
She's very literal.
I think she wins.
She's the big dog. Big dog. She's the big dog, and you gotta suck it, because
I just want to know who has XXXL.
I just want to know who has XXX dog,
Right.
because that's a whole different license plate.
Yeah.
Triple X dog. That's a deep corner of the. If you on Reddit,
Don't
do not
Google
go to that. Do not go to that subreddit. If you see the XX people at home right now, I swear to God, if it's out there, don't go to it. You don't want to.
Don't Google it.
Don't Google it.
Safe search on.
You're gonna go to. You're gonna be on a list if you Google that. 100%. You're gonna be straight up on a list. Bubby, you got a story for me today?
I do.
Hold on. Watch this. We got a thing. If it plays. I got the dang wrong channel. I am a second. I gotta label these things.
We're trying, people.
I'm
We're
trying.
trying.
I'm trying.
Parker, hello. You're fired. Parker! 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 Were you deaf? I called you twice. Parker, wake up! Wake up! Shoot the picture! Parker! You're late. Maybe too late. Bruckner here beat you to it. Parker! Parker, what? Need a photographer.
All right.
That's awesome.
That's our intro for Bubby's kid here, where Bubby is going to now tell us a Parker story.
Yes. So it was recently Father's Day, and my wife and Parker got me a brand new John Deere riding lawnmower.
Oh, wait. This is like one of them Christmas commercials where you're like, honey, I got you this brand new car. She got you a John Deere riding lawnmower.
Yes.
That's a big gift, Bubby.
It is. It's probably the biggest one she ever gave me,
Like,
other than Parker.
which
That you don't want to return.
that Bubby did not keep. He did not keep the receipt.
Lost it.
He lost that receipt. You got to keep that whether he wants it or not.
Yep. So no giving it back. Anyway.
So is this a zero turn? Is this a
No, it's just a regular tractor
okay?
riding lawnmower.
How big's that deck, Bubby?
42 inch.
Bubby got the 42-inch deck, if you know what I mean.
I don't. I don't know what that means.
The deck is how big the blade is that cuts the grass. So the bigger the blade, the more grass you cut at one time.
I'm with
Big
you.
dog.
It's the big dog.
It's the XXL.
Yeah.
It's the XXL of John Deere lawnmower
Right.
decks.
Nice.
So I've got an old Craftsman riding lawnmower that doesn't work too well.
Hey, what are you doing with that mower?
Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to hook it to the new John Deere and pull it up around to the front of the house.
Okay.
So I
He's not mowing
no,
with the John Deere. He's
No,
just
I'm using it
moving.
to pull
He's
the
not,
old mower.
he's not mowing, he's towing, ladies and gentlemen. That's Mike Sossaman. That's what I've always said about Bubby. If he ain't mowing, he's towing. Might be the podcast title right there.
So I asked Parker to help me.
Okay.
Knowing this was going to be a disaster.
What job did you give Parker?
To drive the old Craftsman as I pulled it.
Now, is it Craftsman running or is it just being tugged along?
It's just being towed.
So all you got to do is steer.
All he's got to do is steer.
All right.
So,
Just getting this picture in my head.
knowing my son has autism, things bother him like the next door neighbor's dog barking. So he's got the auditory sensitivity. So he's also always going outside and covering his ears because the dog's.
Oh, you got him some headphones or something?
He hates wearing them.
Okay.
Anyway, so we get on the mower and I go, all you got to do is just steer it. Just steer it. That's all you got to do. So I get on the John Deere, I put it in gear, I take off, and I look back to see what's going on, and he has his hands in his ears, steering with his elbows. And I'm just like, would you stop? Take your hands out and just steer for a minute.
Now you got your mower running, so that's kind of loud.
Yes.
I want to adjust my microphone.
Yes.
Here.
Exactly. So I didn't know what was going on until I turned around to actually look because I couldn't.
But it wasn't the
hear
neighbor.
what he was doing.
It wasn't the neighbor dog that's
just-
upsetting him. It's you and your mower.
No,
Or was the neighbor's dog?
it's the dog because he's The mower wouldn't bother me.
He's got it out for the dog.
But the dogs, he just hates them barking.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, though, how's Parker driving with his elbows? Like,
It's awful. I have to stop. I can't. Because he's turning the wheel the wrong way because he can't control it, and it's going left. I'm going right.
Now, how long of a rope did you give him here to be towed by? Did he have enough room to really kind of like get left and right on this thing?
Yeah, it was 3 feet maybe.
Okay, so he couldn't like really get out of
It
control.
was a
there.
ratchet strap, yeah.
So it wasn't like he was like 6 feet over, like hitting a tree or anything.
No, it wasn't that far. But still.
Did he flip it?
No,
Okay.
no.
Tear up your grass a little bit?
Yes, yes, he did. But just the image of him driving with his elbows was funny enough.
I think it went better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. At no point did he
Well,
lock.
if I hadn't stopped,
At no point did he lock it up on you or throw it in reverse. So
well, that's true.
he could have been monster trucking you on this thing here.
Well, he
You
can't-
guys could have had one of them pull competitions, see whose tractor's bigger.
Do those things go in reverse?
Yeah, they got a reverse.
Oh.
You got to have
This one's fancy. It doesn't have gears. It just has a forward pedal and a backwards pedal right beside it.
Oh, that
So-
seems difficult.
So you go.
That
from
seems complicated.
Forward to backward pedal. Yeah.
So you can be just driving along and throw it in reverse.
You can't. You can't by accident. I live that. Yes.
When I first
The
got,
first day I stalled it out because if you have the blades going implement, then it won't. That reverse pedal won't work. There's a button that I didn't know about right by the steering wheel that you got to push while the blades are running to go in reverse.
because they don't want you like
Otherwise,
backing up over your
It
kid.
dies. Yeah, that's exactly what the manual says. 5 days later, when I read that,
But I was like, this mower's broken. I can't put it in reverse for
I was like, why
nothing.
can't I get this thing started again? I figured it out.
So when I was younger, I used to have BMX bikes. So you had a BMX bike, right?
I did.
And how do you stop a BMX bike?
Uh,
Like a true BMX bike. What do you got to do? Put the brakes on.
yeah.
You got to pedal backwards,
Well,
like on an old school
oh,
BMX bike.
okay.
You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
throw
we
the-
didn't have the hand.
Yeah, you didn't have the
brakes,
handbrakes. You
no.
just got to throw you pedal backwards, and then that engages the brake, and you'll.
And
I
you
know. I
slide.
thought that was all bicycles.
Yeah, no, like a 10-speed though has the handbrakes, right?
Well, even
Yeah.
BMX today, has
So-
handbrakes.
I got my first
Front and back.
my mom bought me my first 10-speed bike. Okay, we were not super rich, so we got that at the flea market, right? And first time I'm out there riding that bike, pedaling along, going around a corner, and as I'm going around the corner, this car's coming the other way, and the car sees me. The car is well aware of my ass, and I'm coming around that corner, and so I do what I am used to doing, and I throw that thing in reverse. Like, boop, start pedaling backwards. Well, if you have a 10-speed, all that does is spin backwards.
Yeah.
That's all that does.
Yeah.
There's no stopping up the bicycle at this point.
No.
And now I am out of options because I don't know what the next step is. Because all I know is I'm supposed to pedal backwards and it stops. Haven't really figured out the handbrake. So I perceive that this guy sees me coming and just slows to a crawl and eventually stops. Not me. No, sir. I proceed to plow full speed into the front of that car,
Oh my gosh.
flip up onto the hood, and then roll down onto the dirt. Okay? In the process, completely destroying that 10-speed bike that I had just received. Some neighborhood lady sees this goes down and immediately calls an ambulance, which apparently was in a block radius of this place because that thing showed up quick. So here I am on the side of the road, right? My bike is totaled into the front of this car.
Face full of dirt.
Face full of dirt, right? Skinned up, all kinds of things. With an ambulance. At no point did I tell my mom any of this was going on. But my sister saw it and went home and got my mom. And all she said is, there's an ambulance and Thor got hit by a car. Okay. Now, in the guy's defense, Thor did not get hit by a car. A car got hit by Thor. So she comes running, right? I got to be, 9 or 10. So she comes running thinking her baby boy is dead. And there's my stupid ass sitting on the side of the road getting Band-Aids on boo-boos on my knees from the people in the ambulance who are like, what the hell are we doing here? And then
Whose kid is this?
Whose kid is this exactly? And then she's got to go talk to the guy I just plowed into the front of his car. Luckily, you know, this is like mid 80s, so that didn't really scratch that car much up because that car is built like a tank, but that
Right.
bike was not built like a tank. So, the short story on that bike is we got it all straightened out, got the wheels like fixed, and so you could ride it again. My sister was the next one to try driving it. She drove it straight into a mailbox and finished that bike off. That was the last we ever drove that bike.
That reminds me of a 10-speed story. My first one. There was a church in my neighborhood, and it had a long driveway that was going uphill, downhill, depending on which way you're going, and it had a curve. So
I just want to enjoy that.
I didn't know how that worked.
A little
but
descriptive,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, uphill or downhill, depending on which way you're going.
So I'm flying down this driveway.
On the downhill
on a
position.
10 going down. And so I hence the flying, and I want to slow down, so I do hit the handbrake, but
Okay.
I don't hit the back brake.
You hit that front
I
one?
hit the front one, and it just flips me right there,
Yeah.
right
Downhill.
onto my head.
Downhill.
Oh,
Bubby just whips over the handlebar at
bloody nose. It was-
100 miles an hour. Did an ambulance come?
No, I didn't have the option of an ambulance. I just limped back to the house
Dragging that bike behind you.
because that 10-speed was not gonna.
Left it in the dirt. Didn't even go for it. Like
And
that.
I was a little too short for it because it's 10-speed.
What?
Yeah, so
Bubby,
yeah.
don't say it ain't true.
It is. I had to use a step to get onto it, just to push off.
All right. So the one upstairs, my wife, we're gonna buy bikes. She says we're gonna get bikes. We're gonna ride bikes. I'm like, sure, I'll play along with this game, whatever. So we go to Walmart. We're gonna pick out bikes. So I pick out a 10-speed, you know, nice one. You know, I'm not
Mountain
gonna
bike.
mountain bikey kind of bike. You know, just standard bike, 10-speed, whatever. And I'm not going to spend a ton of money on this, so that's why we went to Walmart, because I know this ain't going to, just like everything else in this world, we're going to try this for about a week, and then we're going to give up on it. I got a garage full of that kind of stuff, and there's stuff down here that I've bought. I'm like, I'm going to do this. This is my new thing. I'm going to do this forever. And then you spend all, my favorite part of any experience is the putting it all together part. Get all the bits and pieces together. Okay, we are now prepared to do this. That container there to your left-hand side is full of all these stained glass making equipment that I purchased that I never used. I made like 2 things ever, and then I was like, okay, that was fun. I enjoy the setting up part and the getting ready part, not the actual doing part. So we go and buy bikes. I get my bike. She buys a bike. She sees her bike. She goes, I want this bike. It is a single-speed bike, okay? She goes, but this is what I want. I was like, okay, why do you want this bike? It's got a basket. I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, this one has a basket. And I'm like, yes, but this is a single-speed bike. You want a 10-speed. You know, it's going to be hard to, no, this is the one I want. I was like, all right, well, get on this bike and see how well it fits. This bike is by far too large for her. If she stands on her tiptoes, she can stand just over top of the center bar. Not get on the seat, just stand over the center bar on her tiptoes and not fall over. That's where we're at. So this is when we were living down in Branson. So the road that I lived on, we were kind of at the bottom of a little. It's not a very steep slope on either side of it goes uphill both ways from my house.
Awesome.
But it's not very steep, but it is kind of long. So you're going uphill for a bit in either direction. So the very first time we get out there, first of all, she could barely get her leg over that bike, tiptoeing it there. And then she's got to start pedaling. And she starts pedaling up that hill. And there is no assist at all. This is a straight single gear bike. And I thought she was going to die trying to get up that hill. And I've got my 10-speed, and I've got it in like 3, so I'm just pedaling really easy and going up the hill. And she's like, what's wrong with this bike? And I'm like, it's not the bike. I told you this was not the bike for you, but it's got a basket, so you got to have it. It's got a basket. So that bike and its twin are sitting out in my shed out back with flat tires. And I have moved them from one house to the next house, and they're
Maybe
going
one of these days.
if I ever move again, I will probably move those back a second time.
The good thing is you live on a flat street, so there's no up or down.
There is no up or down. Actually, I want to get an electric bike
Yeah.
because I live about 3 miles from my work, and it's a straight shot down this road out here. I'm not going to name names because I don't want all of our massive amount of fans to come here and hang out in front of my house. But
Smoking doobies and taking gummies.
right, exactly. I'm a California sober. for call back from last time.
Wait, isn't that avocado?
No, I'm not avocado sober. So I can go straight down that road until I get to Sunset, and then that's a bike trail all the way basically to my work. So I could take that electric. Now the only problem is the other day it was 104 degrees in Springfield, and I went, maybe I don't need an electric bike because that seems real hot.
Well, you can choose and pick your days.
You could choose and pick your days, but you know you're going to go in and it's going to be like 80, and then you get done with work and it's like 104, and you're like, oh no, I have to ride this home because I have made a decision that is not the best. So I don't know if electric bikes are for me or not, but I am thinking about getting one to round out my bike stories here.
And you could get a personalized license plate,
XXXDOG, yes. And then just let the kids wonder what's happening. I don't think you have to get a license. I'd have to get that printed, probably, one of those little plastic ones.
Yeah.
No, so you just put the stickers on.
Well, that's
They
true.
just
I
come
could
with
do that.
stickers.
Right.
You
So
might have to get 2 packs because I don't know how many
Yeah.
X's you get.
How many X's do I get in this? Well, you know, like when you go to the touristy places and they got them kids' license plates. There was not once ever was there a license plate with my name on it.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yes.
all day long. Amanda, probably
Usually sold out.
usually sold out because it's very popular.
Yeah.
But they had them.
Yeah.
Thor, never, not once. Now, the only place you're going to find your name printed on something, if your name is Thor, is if you go to a dog like boutique, and then for sure, there's going to be a
Aw.
dog bone in there with my name on it.
Dog dish.
Yeah.
Dog dish, something like that. Yeah, for sure, there's going to be one of those. But never like a license plate or a keychain or any of that fun stuff that I wanted to have mine. Like you go to King's Dominion or Busch Gardens or one of those places.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you hear about the coaster at Carowinds?
Yes.
Bad news. One of the like big pillars on that coaster is like cracked and like ready to fall off. And like a dude like riding it noticed it. Like they didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Maintenance not really required.
And one of their sister parks also, I think in May, had stuff falling off of one of their coasters.
Yikes. And somebody
So-
just stuck a coaster upside down in the loop.
I saw that.
So, and they were there for like hours.
Yeah.
That's not a, yeah. Can you imagine just hanging there upside down? And because I don't like being in that harness to begin with, like the upside down coasters.
I would have been so mad and puking on everyone.
So,
I would have been going back and forth trying to get it to.
Bubby's rocking the coaster, trying to get the bus free. Just got to work that harness open and just
gravity. Just gravity going that way.
Yeah, but you know, you just gonna rock that thing, and that harness is gonna go pa-ching and open up, and there goes Bubby. Boom. And now, you know, your wife's got a nice payout, but Bubby, you know, can't talk right no more. So, but that's why I don't like the coasters that have the harnesses that go over top.
Yeah.
The only ones I like are the ones, and I know it makes zero difference. I understand 100% of my life. It makes zero difference. But if it's got the shoulder straps, but it has the little tiny seat belt that goes from like between your crotch and clicks into the bottom of the harness that goes over you, then I feel like you're fine.
Yeah.
But if it's just the one that goes click, 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 click down over top of you, because it always goes like click, 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 and then kind of stops because I've got a large chest. And then they're like, it didn't click enough times. And
Let's
I'm like,
be real. It just goes click.
okay.
One.
Yeah, no.
One click.
All right, let's be honest. It does. It goes click one time. Click. And then they go,
I'm just about as big.
they
or
go,
bigger.
they go,
and
that's
it's
not
one
good
click.
enough. You're going to have to click it more. And I'm like, lady, you better bring a couple friends and just get to pushing because I got 0 more clicks in me. The same thing happened when we went to Animal Kingdom and we rode. Okay. I'm going to come back to this story here in a second. We went to Animal Kingdom and we went to Flight of Passage at the what they call them, the Navis, the Avatar Land. So you get in this and it's like a bike. You're kind of sitting in the bike and then the thing clicks in behind you, kind of click, click, but again click. And that lady's like, "That's not enough," and I'm like, I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do about this." And she goes, "Well, it's got to click like 2 more times." I'm like, "Okay, we'll get to getting." And so like she like plants her feet and double hands the back of that thing and like shoves with all her might and it goes click once. And she goes, "It's got to go 1 more." I'm like, "This is fun. Let's see what happens." And
Take a
so
breath, deep
yeah,
breath.
and I was like, "Get to pushing again." And so she and then finally goes click. And she was like, "Okay, you're fine."
Yeah, but can you breathe afterward?
Well, here's the thing. You haven't ridden that ride because you'll.
I don't write anything.
Yeah, Amanda throws up. She gets motion sick real easy. So, you didn't ride that ride either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah. That's
here's
awesome.
here's what I know about that ride. That little vehicle doesn't go anywhere.
No, it doesn't.
It just shakes left and right and like front and back. It's not going anywhere. I'm not actually flying on a winged bird lizard thing. I don't know why I got to be so tightly locked into this thing because it's just going a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit forward, a little bit back. That's all it's doing. And I guess if I get confused by the screen, I don't whip myself off of the thing.
Yeah.
But fine.
Or
I'm gonna,
ruin the illusion and jump off.
Yeah, ruin the illusion and jump off. But again, the floor is only, 6 inches below my foot. Why are we so concerned about that clicking 3 times, people? So, Bubby, I never followed up on this story. So when Bubby took his kid to Disney World
Oh, yeah.
here not too long ago.
Last spring break.
Yeah, last spring break. And I warned you,
Kind of was a bait.
Spring bake.
spring bake. Take the gummies. It's a spring bake. You can get out there and just wake and bake. I warned you about going to Epcot Center
You did.
and a very specific ride. Did you guys go on Mission to Mars?
We did.
Did you choose orange or green?
Whatever it was that you told me to ride.
I
is
told
what
Bubby
rode.
to choose green. I said, Bubby, if they give you the option between choosing orange or green, you choose green.
Yes, that's what we chose.
Okay, so we went to Epcot. This was 2 years ago, maybe a little longer, not too long ago, and I had that option, choose between orange or green. I was like, oh, I'll choose orange. That sounds good to me. So you get on this ride, and they put you, and it's a little capsule, and it's 4 people sitting across. Right?
And it is tight.
It is tight. It is. You are in there, and there's 4 of you across on this little thing, and they kind of lock you in, and they close the doors, ching, ching, ching. And in the orange one, you look to your left, and you realize, oh, there are barf bags right here next to me, and you go, that's probably not a good sign, and you go, I'll be fine, right? No, you will not be fine. You will definitely not be fine. To anyone who's ridden this just monstrosity of a ride, you will not be fine. So this ride, so I don't know how the green side works, but how the orange side works is you're in this little 4-person car. Well, that little 4-person car then turns to its right and starts spinning on this big wheel just as fast as they can spin that to kind of simulate taking off and gravity and all that stuff. And they just get to going. And while that's happening, they're showing a little movie like 4 inches from your face, okay, about how you're taking off and going to space, and then you're crashing on this planet and whipping through all these canyons and stuff. And I am nauseous, I would say, within the first 15 seconds of this ride. Like, I know I have made a huge mistake on this ride. This is the second ride of the day.
Nice.
First ride of the day is the big giant ball at the front of the park,
Yeah.
right?
Space Mountain.
Not
Spaceship Earth.
Oh,
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth is just a lovely little ride in a little cart that goes up a hill and then slowly winds down as you look at half broken down little animatronics, because that ride has not been maintained. But so we're like, okay, that's fine. And we get on Mission to Mars, and I choose the orange. And I get off that ride, and it proceeds to ruin the next hour and a half of our vacation as I just sit quietly, burping up everything I've eaten in the last 6 months and trying very hard not to throw up in a bucket. And so we go to a meet and greet. They got Mickey and a couple other people doing a meet and greet because it's indoors, it's kind of dark in there, and it's air conditioned. And I'm like, I can quietly stand here and probably not throw up. It was a challenge to wait in that line and not throw up. That is the second ride of the day. The rest of the day did not get significantly better. We go to Soarin', okay?
Oh.
Which is the other big ride there. Now, Soarin', for those of you who have not ridden it, it's not that bad. It's basically a big IMAX movie, and you sit in this kind of gondola, and it, again, rocks a little bit to the left, rocks a little bit to the right, kind of forward, kind of backwards, and the movie plays. But I'm in line, and I've experienced Mission to Mars, and I asked the lady at the line, on a scale of 1 to 10, with Mission to Mars being the worst thing I've ever been on, a 10. Where is this ride? And she goes, well, it's not that. And I'm like, no.
I need a
I'm
number.
a little more than it's not that, because not that to 5, I'm still not interested. I need something 5 or below at this point. Now I will say Soarin' is probably like a 3 or 4. Okay, it's not that bad. It's easy. They blow little smells in your face, and it's a lovely little ride. But I don't know, because I haven't never been on this. But I do know what happened to me, and I need to know it's not going to happen again. And she's like, I don't know, maybe a 6 or a 7. I'm like, oh no, because you could, if you like, Amanda would definitely 100% throw up on that ride. I would think. Have you
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Motion. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that movie's just kind of
feels
big
like you're
landscape.
flying.
It feels like you're flying, so I'm pretty sure you'd throw up on that. But me, that's not a problem for me. But I am now traumatized, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I need a number. And she's like 6 or 7. I'm like, I'm not. But this was our like fast pass. This was like
Yeah.
a one fast pass for the day. So we got to skip the line and get right to the front. I'm like, I got to tough this out. I just got to ride this ride. And we rode it, and as it started, I like in my brain I had worked it up so much that the ride started, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna throw up, and then it starts going. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm all right, we're fine. But I almost, and like you're stacked, like it's like we were at the top too, so you can get like first floor, second floor, third floor, and depending on what floor you are is where you are vertically in that ride. It's just, it doesn't really make a difference. They're just trying to cram as many people in there as they can, so they get as many people through at one time. But we're at the top, so if I throw up, all the people below me are going to have a real bad day. But luckily, that one worked out fine for me, and the rest of the rides at Epcot are fine. I rode the Three Amigos one with Donald Duck. That's just a boat ride. That's real easy. Yeah.
And unfortunately, on Soarin', you can't choose your seat.
No, you just get whatever you
You
get.
couldn't have got the bottom row. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I was way up top. I was a danger to everyone's vacation for like a good half hour there.
Yeah.
Like things
It'd
were.
be better if you were on the bottom.
Now, have you been? You guys didn't go to the NASA over there at Cape Canaveral,
No,
right?
no.
Have you ever been to NASA at Cape Canaveral?
No.
Okay, so it's got like 2 rides,
Okay.
but one of them's real good.
Yeah.
It's a space ride, too, but it's. So I went to this after
Yeah.
I rode Epcot, and they're like, "It's a space ride." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And they put you in there, but there's a bunch of you in there. There's probably like 30 of you in this thing. And back in the day, there was an amusement park near my house, about an hour from where we lived, called Lakeside, and they had a spaceship ride. And this spaceship ride was literally a movie playing in the front, and then you were put in this big rocket ship looking thing, and it was like, I don't know, it probably sat like 15 people. And that whole thing would just kind of tip up at an angle, okay, like you're blasting off,
Yep.
and then it would go blue, 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 and it just shake a little bit, right? Shake a little left, right, shake a little up, down. And then this movie's just playing at the front. Like there's no like immersion whatsoever. It's just a movie play, like it's the front window of the ship as you're taking off and stuff. But it's just pointed up like it's pointed up at like a 45-degree angle. Shake, 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 shake. And you can see it from the outside. It's because this is like a low budget amusement park. This is not like high dollar. They tore it down. But I love that ride so much. Okay. I probably every time we'd go, I'd probably ride that thing 10 times.
Nice.
Like I loved that ride. So we get on this one at NASA, and I'm sitting in it, and I'm like, this kind of looks familiar. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then that whole thing goes and tips up that 45-degree down. I'm like, hell yeah! And then the window in the front opens up, and there's the movie. And I'm like, hell yeah! Now this one rocks a lot more. It's got a good left, right, up, down kind of rock. As you're doing the whole thing. But it's that ride again, and I was just right back where I started from. I was like, hell yeah! This ride from freaking Lakeside, they just made it bigger, and they made it for me, and I rode the hell out of that ride, and that was fun.
Nice.
So that's my all my stories about riding spaceship rides that I either did not or did throw up on.
The Star Wars ride at
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios, yeah.
Made my wife pretty nauseous. Yeah, she won't.
See, that's
doesn't
put you in a
like
room and
rides
shake
like
you,
that.
though. That's the same thing. That's just a literally.
Or the Rise of the Resistance one.
No, it was Star Wars.
It's Star Tours.
Star Tours.
Yeah.
So Star Tours isn't bad though. It's so
It just made
if
her
you guys go
motion sickness.
to what's the other one? Universal Studios, not Islands of Adventure, but just the regular Universal Studios, every single ride at that park is a put you in a room and shake your ride. That's everything. Everything at that park is 3D, and you are sitting in a thing in a room where they play a movie, and then they shake the room or they shake the seat you're in.
We were going to go to Island Adventure this last spring break, but I haven't.
See, Island of Adventures is good. It's got coasters. It's got the
that's the reason we chose that one.
the dinosaur boat, river, river blast ride, and it's got all the Harry Potter stuff. It's not bad.
Right.
The other park, 100%. Like if you go to Six Flags in California, I hope you like roller coasters because that's all they got. Like if you don't like roller coasters, screw you. Don't come to this park. And if you don't like put you in a room and shake your ride, do not go to that other park, the freaking Universal Studios, because that is except for one. They got one ride that is not that, and it is the what's it called? The Men in Black ride. And that ride is you're in a little car, and there's two of you and the other people in the other lane, and they can shoot your car. And if they shoot your car 3 times, it spins in a circle. The people next to us were jackasses, okay? 100% jackasses, and they just kept shooting our car. And it kept spinning round and round and round and round and round. And I got very nauseous on that ride. And the next ride we were supposed to go on was The Simpsons, and I almost didn't go on it. And that was my favorite ride of all time. And I almost didn't go on it because those jackasses made my car spin the entire time we were on Men in Black. Men in Black, if you're listening, you should put some kind of limit on the amount of spinning that thing does. Because it is rough. I don't like the rides that just spin. Teacups, don't like the teacups. No, I'm too old. I'm just too old for the shenanigans. I like a big giant swing. If you got one of those, I'll ride that. That's not, just in a circle, with the chairs and.
Nope.
King's Dominion, the parrot one. You know the one that has the big sail in the front, and you can kind of like steer the thing. Oh, I love that one. That's a great ride. But if it spins like teacuppy spins or friggin' Mission to Mars spins, no, not for me. I'm too old and too fat to be doing this.
Do you remember my Universal Studios ride story?
Yes. So Amanda went to Harry Potter World when it very first opened. Like it had to been not a couple months open, right?
No, yeah. They were still limiting the number of people that could go in at a certain time.
Okay. Would you like to tell the story?
I can tell the
Which
story.
one was it? Which ride?
It's the Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah. So we went to the Hogwarts Castle. Waited. And I throw up on everything. So I pay attention. When I see something, I'm like, how am I feeling today? What do the signs say? What kind of ride is this? And because it was brand new, there was nothing online. Like I couldn't do like a ride point of view or anything like that. So I just had to guess. And I went and waited in line. I think we waited in line probably 2 hours for this ride, and it was just so nice. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. It'll be so cool. I'll just do it.
Now, the theming on the line as you're going, so as someone who also waited like 2 hours in line to get on this ride, the theming on this ride is amazing.
Yeah.
Like they have little holographic projections of Ron and Hermione and Harry Potter, and they talk to you, and you get to see like the Griffin staircase where you go up to Dumbledore's, and it's like they've put the money in on this ride.
Looks really good. And saw on the sign, it just looks like a roller coaster. I'm like, I can do a roller coaster. I can do one. First ride of the day. Haven't done anything. Haven't really eaten anything. Had a butter beer to take in line with us. And then we get to the front of the line, and I'm like, I think I'm just going to do it. I waited 2 hours. I'm going to do it. Like, all my sisters and friends are here. We're just going to do it. And so I got on, and the thing went over the top, over my shoulders, and I was like, this may have been the worst decision I've made.
Now, let me describe this ride to you, Bobby.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Okay. I just wanted to give him a kind of...
So he's experiencing it like I did.
Okay.
No idea.
Okay.
So they put the things down, and I'm like, okay, it's probably fine. Probably just goes like upside down, indoor roller coaster. It's fine. And so but definitely have a lot of doubt in my choice. And so we start to go, and we go into this room, and the first thing I see is this big screen. And then I see my sister turn and look at me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I am not okay." Then we proceed to get into the scene, and then I think Harry gives you like a broom to fly on. I was like, "I don't want to get on that broom."
No, Harry.
Do not want to get on that broom.
I would like to pass on your broom, Harry Potter.
And so then you start to, it turns out, I know now, you're on this giant robotic arm, and it's just flinging you every which way it can.
So,
Its goal is to get you loose from that contraption that you're strapped to.
so Bubby, you know the robots that like build cars and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine strapping a 4-person across bench with 4 people in it on that arm, and that arm is just going to whip you from one scene to the next scene as it travels along. So if you were just on the cart,
It'd be fine,
the
probably.
cart just kind of travels along at a leisurely pace, kind of like Haunted Mansion. But this arm is just going to whip you over here to look at this scene, then it's going to whip you over here to look at this scene, then it's going to whip you up here so you can look at the scene that's on the roof, and then whoop down here on the one that's on the floor as it's traveling along.
So we make the first big movement, and I close my eyes and proceed to throw up for the next 5 minutes of my life.
Oh my gosh.
And several times on the ride, I was like, "I'm going to die." I'm like, "Why did I do this? This is not how I want to die." I'm real upset. And just like throwing up and trying to like concentrate and just like hum to myself and try not to throw up and just keep my eyes closed. And I was like, "You're already on this. Open your eyes and just enjoy it." And I was like, "Nope, can't do it." And my sister leans over and she's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Nope, I'm going to die."
Now, if I'm correct, you threw up enough on this ride that they had to shut down the ride.
So when we stopped, when we got back into the gate to get let out, like my only thing was as soon as that I hear the pop and I can get out, I'm leaving. And I just like hightailed it out of there, past everyone, just left because I was covered in puke. Butterbeer puke. It was disgusting.
Butterbeer.
Can't drink butterbeer anymore. And so I just hear my sister, she threw up everywhere. And so then you just hear the ride stop, and there's like, "Sorry, we're shutting down the ride for a minute. We'll let you know when we're ready to go."
So all these poor people who are on the ride
Yeah.
are now trapped, stuck with whatever scene they were in because they have to clean up
The entire ride.
the entire ride that Amanda threw up all over.
But
Now, Amanda,
so-
did you enjoy the park the rest of the day?
well, I left for a while because I had to get some new clothes. So I went back a few years after that, and now in the queue line, they have a ton of videos showing you what the ride does, and they actually have like a stick figure throwing up in a bucket to let you know that's gonna happen.
So I went
it's
like,
you.
yeah,
Right?
it's just a picture of Amanda.
And now, if you throw up on the ride, you get a Hogwarts like PE physical education like short and T-shirt set. Where was that?
Yeah, right. You just had to because that ride is at the back of the park.
Yeah.
Like it is nowhere near the entrance. So you have to hike. She had to hike through the entire park, covered in her own vomit,
Good to know. I will
to
not
get
ride that
on.
ride.
To get on, I'm gonna guess a bus to ride back to the hotel.
Probably. No, I think we drove over there.
Okay.
So
I rode that
That's
ride like the
worse.
next year. I went by myself down there, and that ride starts up and it does the first couple like scenes. It whips you into the first couple of scenes. I was like, "Oh yeah, there's no way she didn't throw up on this ride." There was zero chance she was not going to throw up on this ride.
and the most memorable part to me, because I was so mad. I felt so awful. Like I just did not feel good. And my friend asked, "So what part did you throw up on?" I was like, "The whole
I
thing.
love it.
The whole thing."
I went ahead and just marked my territory as the ride.
I could not tell you a single thing that happened other than Harry handing me my fate.
There's a
basically.
dragon with some vomit on it. That's all I know. They probably never got to clean that off.
Oh yeah, there was one scene where it was real hot because there
Yeah.
was fire or something.
There's a
I was
dragon
like,
right in your
"Why
face."
Is it hot?
This
I
this
died
is
and
not
went straight
helping.
to hell.
This is not helping the situation at all. Why does it get so hot all of a sudden? Why is there steam blowing in my face?
Eat and vomit.
It was the worst thing I've ever done. Now, I'm very careful. If if I can watch a video on YouTube that shows me what that ride is exactly, I'm watching it.
You're basically just held to like you can ride Carousel of Progress and like the
I can ride most of Magic Kingdom.
Pirates, that kind of stuff. But you're not on the teacups, obviously. Dumbo, could you ride Dumbo?
I can ride Dumbo.
Okay, you do okay on Peter Pan?
Yep.
It's pretty slow.
Yeah.
You can drive go-karts.
Maybe.
Rough.
Sometimes I can
They
drive
go
my
really
car and not
slow.
get sick.
But yeah, so basically what we're saying is that Universal Studios, the original, there's nothing for Amanda. There's no reason for her to go there.
No,
ever.
it's a waste of my money.
Yeah, they do have, some of them have, like, you can sit here and this doesn't do all the stuff. You can just sit and quietly watch the movie if you want. Like the Shrek ride I know had, the Shrek
Some safe seats.
4D movie, it was like,
Yeah.
you can sit here if you don't want to be jostled around very much.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of them I wish I had sat in that seat. The Jimmy Kimmel, if you're out there listening, Jimmy Kimmel, this one's for you. Your ride made me very nauseous. I'm going to be real honest with you. The Tonight Show or whatever it was called, Jimmy Kimmel Show, whatever that is.
It's not Jimmy. Are you talking about the New York one?
Yeah.
Right? That's the other Jim.
Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon.
Whichever Jimmy you are. Neither of you are listening to
It's the
this, so
Jimmy
that's fine. Jimmy Fallon, you made me almost throw up on your ride. You were the only one who did. The worst one there, did you guys go?
No.
Okay, the worst one there is the Fast and Furious ride. Because instead of putting you in a room and checking you, they put you on a bus and then shake the bus a little bit. But the movie just kind of goes by you as you're like cruising down the road. It's terrible. It's really not a good ride. I mean, what are you going to do? It's Fast and Furious. You got to do the best you can. But
Q looks cool.
the queue was cool. But you're just on the ride. And you're like, and I'm sitting on the edge of the ride. Like I'm sitting on the out. So it's a bus. I'm sitting on a bus. For all intent and purposes, you are on they call it a party bus. It's not a party bus because there ain't no party on that bus. But I'm sitting by the window. And it's just cut out hole. And you can just look down and see. So the movie's going by you. But you can look down and you see, this is not going anywhere. This movie's just going past me. I am not actually going anywhere. They're just shaking this bus in place. And you keep looking over and you're like, you really should block this off so I don't have to look down there and see that this ride ain't going nowhere. It's like Mr. Toad's. So before they tore down Mr. Toad's in Florida, I rode it. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is a little car, and you go in there and it's all black light. And you kind of whip through scenes, and you're like, oh no, here's a car coming at you. Oh no, we're going to crash into this bush. Oh no. There's two lanes, two different cars going through at the same time. Wow. The other lane broke down as I parted the doors to go in this ride. The other side broke down, so they turn on all the lights, and then they start playing this announcement saying, "Please stay seated. The ride is currently disabled, but my side was not. My side just kept going. So now I'm in this big warehouse room." Okay, and I realized that all the images for this entire ride are just painted along the wall. And then the track kind of goes along and just kind of whips you in to look at this scene and then kind of pulls you out. And it whips you in the next one and pulls you out. And so it's just that over and over again. But with all the lights on and no black light, all you see is this big old warehouse. And you're riding in this little car and they keep going to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Meanwhile, all these other people are just sitting there watching you go by because their car's not moving. And that was my experience on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It was Mr. Toad's sad all the lights are on ride. And my favorite ride at Disney, they tore out, which was the submarine ride. I loved the submarine ride back when it was the original submarine ride.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
At Disney World had one too.
Did they?
But they tore it out at some point.
I didn't know that.
But so they've rethemed it a couple times. It was Nemo and it was a bunch of other things. But the original OG 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, this ride is so dumb. It's dumb as hell. Okay? So they put you in this and there's bench seating. So there's one bench on one side and one bench on the other side, and you're looking at these tiny little porthole windows, okay? And you're just looking at all the fake seaweed and grass and animatronic underwater mermaids, and you're in the submarine and it goes down under the water. But it only goes like 6 inches under the water. It is not under the water. And I'm pretty sure the top of this thing is still sticking out of the water, okay? But you are under the water because your window's under the water and all you can look at is out there. And so you're riding along and I'm like, 10, 12, somewhere in there. And I'm just like, oh my God, we're under the water. Look at them mermaids. Oh my God, there's a treasure chest. Oh no, there's a shark. Oh my God. And the entire time I'm just sitting on this bench 6 inches underwater, just riding along on a track. But to me, man, that was the best thing ever. I was like, this ride is awesome. And it was not awesome. Like thinking back now, I was like, that ride kind of sucks. Now, I will say it is better than recent submarine rides in the news have been. But I was in no danger of imploding on that ride. But I did not go very far either. So, but they tore that ride out, which was sad. I don't like it when they take out the old rides. I like the old rides the best.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all the theme park stories I have for that. Let me put we're getting kind of close to the end of our time here. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up here before we get going?
I don't think so.
I want to just say that in the bathroom, this was a note that I made. In the bathroom in the Come and Go, which is a local gas station chain here in southern Missouri, in Republic, the bathroom above the men's stall, there's a small chandelier for light.
Fancy.
And I don't even understand what is happening in this bathroom. Who decided? It's like a little globe, so it's like a little bar comes down and there's like a globe kind of chandelier looking thing right above the one stall in the men's bathroom. I don't know what decision-making process got you to here, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You and your weird globe chandelier in the bathroom of the gas station.
That's fun.
Yeah, right? Like, somebody was like, you know what? I'm going to make it nice in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that gets me wondering, like, who else got a chandelier in their toilet,
Yeah.
That's not a thing you normally see. Like-
You see it a lot in modern women's restrooms.
Do you really? See,
But never in a gas station.
Never. See, I've never been. I will say this. So from the outside, especially if you're in a nicer facility, you'll go into the men's restroom, and it is utilitarian.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. There are some urinals, there's some stalls, there's some sinks. The end. Maybe if you're lucky, they got something you can read over top of the urinal while you're standing there. Okay, some advertisements or something. But every once in a while, you'll catch a peek of the women's restroom when they open the door, and there's like a sofa in there, and there's like lamps, and like it's like nice in there. And I'm wondering, why don't they care about us as much as they care about you and your happiness in the bathroom?
Do you take pictures and post them on social media of you in the bathroom?
One time I did, and then I got beat up, so
Wow.
that'll never happen again. You're not supposed to take pictures in the men's restroom.
No.
That's a rule, I think.
In the women's, if you're walking in and someone's taking a picture, you got to pause and wait and let them take the picture, and then you keep going.
Are they just mirror selfies? Is that what
I
we're
don't
doing
know.
here, or are they
I
like
don't know.
sneaking pictures underneath the door? Like, hey, what are you doing in there?
No, it's just selfies, yeah.
Weird.
I know, right?
So they figure they better make their bathroom look nice because they're going to be on camera.
Yep,
That makes sense.
that's my guess.
Big cedar bathroom, men's bathroom had a nice bench in it, like a cowhide covered bench.
That's gross. Like, that bench is just covered in pee. Like, there's no way it's not.
I don't know.
Bobby took a nap on it.
I'll be honest with you.
It's
My
fine.
favorite restrooms are the ones that just have the big metal trough.
Pee in the trough, yes.
They pee in the trough. Like, you don't get that at ball games or like
Yeah,
you go
no,
to the
I don't get
racetrack or
that.
something.
No.
Yep.
The men's, they just totally don't care anymore. They've just got a metal trough with like water flowing through it, and then everybody just bellies up to the trough. Like, you're just shoulder to shoulder with dudes. It's real weird.
Yeah, that's how my athletic facility high school was. In the bathroom. Yeah.
Just
trough.
Just trough. You guys can't be trusted with more than this.
Nope.
This is all you get.
This is just an athletic place.
And then sometimes you
work
go in,
out.
and it's just a wall with water running down the wall.
Oh,
And
that's
you just,
gross.
yeah, and it's got like drains at the bottom and stuff.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you've never seen that one? It's just water running down the wall, like starting at like chest height. The water just runs down the wall, and you just go and pee on that wall. I'm like, you know what? You have made the bare minimum effort here. This is how cavemen would have built their
I
own.
don't know. Seems like a little bit of effort to put water in a wall.
Well, I mean, they just got a pipe running across the top of the wall, and then it's like tiled, so then the water goes down. the wall, and then you just be on the wall. Because you know what? I'll be honest with you, guys are probably going to do that one way or the other. So you might as well put some water there, keep the everything flowing, keep the spice flowing.
I don't like that.
Keep the spice flowing.
Yeah.
It's from Dune. Whoever controls the spice controls the universe.
Well, there you go.
Paul Moyardee. That's one of the movies I'm mad at because it stopped in the middle.
I know, but the second one's coming out.
When is the second one coming out?
I don't know. I keep seeing ads about it.
Do you really?
Yep.
I'm not seeing any ads.
Yep.
I gotta go see the
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2.
I know
Get to the
nothing about
chopper.
movie.
Get to the chopper. Dune Part 2. I gotta go see the Indiana Jones.
Saw it today.
Did you? How was it?
It was pretty good.
Bubby's
liked
movie review. Give
Um,
me a quick movie review, Bubby.
It starts off with a long part where he's younger, and
No spoilers.
there's a train scene that he's on, and it sets the storyline for the whole movie. But it's so long. It's like, why is he young when I know he's old?
Right?
So I'm trying to figure out why.
Sneaky
And
technology.
so then a little bit later, it's like, oh, that's why they did all that to set this up.
All right, so you got 4 previous movies. So this makes movie number 5, right? We got Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Oh, we got Indiana Jones and the Ark,
Lost Ark.
Lost Ark. Then we got Temple of Doom. Then we got the
Skull thing.
no, you got the people are just yelling at me, just yelling at their freaking phones right now, just like
I know.
spit it
Right.
out, dummy. It's the one where they go to get the spoilers. The one where they go get the cup that Jesus drank out of,
Oh,
the Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
There we go. I found
I
it.
know.
Alzheimer's is a bitch, people. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
don't know if that's
So they got the Holy Grail one. That one's got Sean Connery in it. Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the last one, which has got Shia LaBeouf,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the Crystal Skulls.
Right.
That one's just aliens. It's real weird. Don't go see
It
that
is-
one.
it's
So on a scale of Shia LaBeouf to Ark of the Covenant, where are you going to put this one?
more Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it ahead of Temple of Doom?
It
Temple of Doom, I think, is like movie 3 probably. It's the weaker of the original trilogy,
I'd say it's after that.
in my opinion, because they mixed it up. Although it does have Short Round in it, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a little so in this movie they got
has a kid in it, has a girl.
okay. So you've never seen Goonies, so you don't know this kid.
I have seen Goonies.
Okay, so Data from
Yeah.
Goonies.
Yeah.
Before he was Data in Goonies,
Yeah.
he played Short Round
Yeah.
in the Indiana Jones movie, and it's a little racist, but it's fine. Dr. Jones. And he was just in the Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is pretty good. But I just rewatched that movie, and it's a hike.
Yeah.
It is a hike to get where you're going, because the first 2/3 of that movie, there's no understanding. Have you seen that movie, Bobby? Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's pretty good. Like, it's a good movie. It won Oscars and what have you. But it's a hike to get where you're going. Like, they take a long time setting up the end. Now, the end is worth it, but man. But anyway, he's in that first Indiana Jones. But it's weird. It's a different girl who's not as good as the first one. The first woman in the first movie, she's real solid. She's partnered Indiana. She's good. And then we get this blonde lady, and that blonde lady got nothing going on for herself.
Yeah.
She's just constantly in need of rescue. And then the third one, there's no girl. And then the fourth one, we get the original girl, the lady, back. And spoilers, it turns out that Shia LaBeouf is Indiana Jones' kid. But we did not apparently go back to that in this new movie.
You don't know that?
You hear about what happened to him.
Okay. So we do kind of wrap it up.
Yes.
All right. I'm in for that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings us to the end of the podcast. Let's get the business out of the way. If you want to send us an email, and we encourage you to send us an email with questions or concerns or anything else you'd like to
Or
talk about.
corrections.
Or corrections.
Why do
Oh,
we
man.
try?
I'm sure we're wrong a lot.
Yeah, you can correct us if you want. You can email us at itsallfishandchips@gmail.com. You can go to our website, it's allfishandchips.com. That'll link you to basically this. So you probably don't need to go there, but it does link you to all of this. You can go to our Patreon. That's in the show notes. The link to that is in the show notes. If you sign up for our Patreon, Not only will Bubby's kid Parker write you a haiku, but also someone in the cast will draw you a picture and mail it to you in an envelope. That is my promise to you. And that is almost more expensive than the...
That's if they want to share their address with us.
Oh, yeah, but you got to share your address with us, so, that's on you. But I think the envelope, because it's only $3 to be in the Patreon, so I'm going to waste half of that in an envelope and stamp and skirt around with this. But whatever. I'm going to do it anyway, because you sign up, that's how much you mean to us. So, we'll be back next time with more shenanigans. This has been Thor.
Bubby?
Amanda.
And remember, folks, no matter what's going on, it's all fish and chips. We can just talk over this if you want. I don't really care.
Bubby's air ukulele.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of air ukulele.
It's catchy.
It is catchy. All right, folks. We'll see you all later.